Hello everybody, welcome back to Urban Soul Stories. Today we're going to do a walkthrough. So first things first, we're going to be checking out my mini greenhouse. Let me just show you what happened after all the snow. Okay, so this is the greenhouse. So everything was fine. Nothing died. It's just that I don't know if it's from the snow or what, or if some animal did it, but this ripped right here. It's still very effective. It's a tiny rip right here as well. This is a bad thing, but also in a way I can use it as a good thing because this greenhouse doesn't have any ventilation. So I'm gonna treat this as ventilation. I can just tape it back up or just cover it with another frost cloth, but everything is slowly thriving and it's well protected everywhere else. So you can see there was no other tear anywhere I had checked. So everything is pretty much covered up. It's just that one hole. So in a way, I'm going to treat it as ventilation. And let's see what we have growing in here. Usually what I would do is use this to cover it up. But just because I want you guys to see, I'm going to take the whole thing off. So I'll cover it up back at a later time. But let me show you what I have. So here is my radish containers. They are growing so slow. I think something might have happened to this one, but when the temperature's to their liking, they'll grow. I did wanted to do a 30-day challenge to see what I can grow in 30 days, but because of the weather and how cold it got so quickly, that I wasn't able to really fulfill that challenge. But we'll try again at a later time just so you guys can see how quickly and how many things you can grow within 30 days to even have like a garden salad or a meal. But these are my mustard mizunas. They're doing really great. They're just baby greens right now. So if you like, you can cut from these. I want to see if they can grow a little bit bigger. So I'll just leave them for now before taking anything from them. And again, they held up great because the whole top of the greenhouse was covered in snow. This never really matured too much, but they are growing just slowly. And these are my beets. So let's see, we have a little beet here coming in. So we have like mini beets. And the good thing about beets, you can actually eat the leaves in your salad. So I'm gonna try that tomorrow and see if I can take them, well, taste them to see how it goes with the rest of my salad, because I still do have a salad I can harvest. And the same thing with the radish leaves, you can add them to your salad or to a smoothie or like a green drink. So I'll be doing both of them as well, and I'll let you guys know. But I'll let you guys know how it is. But drop a comment, let me know if you have tried beets leaves or radish leaves in a salad before. And this look like weeds. They definitely look like weeds. Seaweeds. So try to get them out before the spring so they don't become rooted in my garden. This one is a little bit these two are a little behind. It could be because the other leaves are crowding out the sun, but when I trim them back, they should be able to catch up with the rest. And also just harvesting them to eat them instead of tossing them, you clear up space for more sunlight to get in and also better air circulation. But guys, just check out how pretty the leaves look. Look at that. And before they were this color, if you go back and check in my November tour, you can see the difference. If anything, I can just post it up on a video, like the difference in how the color looked as it got colder. I was shocked at the color too. And here, I still have my sweet alyssums going strong. They are still beautiful. And if you check out my video, I'm gonna link it down below, where I showed you how you can harvest the seeds so that you can have more and save money instead of buying more seeds every year. And these are my carrots. They're not looking the greatest. They do need some fertilizing though. So I'll be doing that at the end of this. Let me know if you guys want to see how I fertilize everything. I can do a separate video on that. And these are my spring mix lettuce, and I've seen in many other videos where it's still thriving, and even though the greenhouse ripped at the top, these did not die. And I'm going to show you the comparison with other lettuces that I have been growing in my garden as well that was planted around similar times. But they look so lush and so beautiful, and I can still harvest from them. So nothing withered. So definitely this greenhouse is a plus. So back there, I just had some herbs that I grew. I believe that was spearmint that I grew from the spring. It just died back, so I left it die back, and we'll see what happens in the spring. So for now, it's just in the back, not getting any sun, which is fine. And then back here, let me show you. So back here, I have another spring mix, and there's some chives that I put in here just for protection from the summertime. So it's still going great, actually. So these are the spring mix lettuce. They're growing. And just back there, I have like my seed starting trays. So this can hold a lot of containers. And this is how everything is. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, so on to the rest of my garden. So please stick around for the ending to see the unrevealing of how everything is. So the next thing I have are my grow bags. So these, I grew cucumbers. It was just pure cucumbers. These were from my cucumber arch. If you can tell, I had 2 there and 2 here, and I had a mini arch I bought from Amazon. It's put away right now just because I don't need it, and it's just in the way. So I've sprinkled a bunch of spring mix on everything. If you check out my previous video, I had talked about the fact that I would be planting some seeds, and these are the seeds. They have not matured much, and these were covered in snow. So just like how it is now, the cover came off. I did a little mini DIY thing to create like a mini greenhouse for them so they can be covered and mostly protected, but the sun is out now, so I'll just leave it. So I came out with it looking just like this. So I had to find a way to secure everything so it stays covered instead of falling off every morning. So we'll see. But this is pretty much to create like a top cover, so the plastic isn't covering the whole thing, and that way they can grow freely. But the only caveat is this blocks out the sun from back there. So this is how everything looks. And this was covered. This fell off, so this whole thing had snow on it, and I wish I took a picture before I brushed it off, but I just brushed off the top layer and let the snow sink in on the rest. So the thing with snow, it acts as an insulation, and it protects the roots of whatever it is that you're growing. So, and it also waters it once it melts down. But the only thing was it wilted. It wilted from all that snow. It wilted, but the roots are still good, because if you look closely, the insides here, they're not damaged. So even though these wilted, this can still grow back and give me more lettuce. So let's see. The same thing with this one. The middle is untouched. So it's a spring mix. I don't actually know which ones these are. So yeah, I'm checking all of them now. The middle is good, so that means the roots are good still. And this one as well. So just the outer layer that could just need some cleaning up. And then they can keep thriving and giving me more. So that's the good thing about the snow, is it didn't completely destroy them. So it looks bad from afar, but up close on inspection, they still look good. It's just that the rest have to catch up. So I'll come back later and cover this up, but for now I just wanted to get some sun. Hopefully we'll warm it up and let it grow some more. And I didn't even need to water it because the snow melted and it just watered the whole thing itself. Okay, so the next thing is my green stalk. This one is my first ever green stalk. Well, I only have Well, I have three, but I'm only using two right now. So this is the first one, and I highly recommend it. Honestly, one of the greatest thing for any patio, small space, any urban gardener, any gardener, any of any kind. This is one of the greatest thing that I've ever come across, and it's thanks to people on YouTube why I bought one, because they were so great at explaining and showing how beneficial it can be, especially for those who don't have a lot of space. I'm on a rental property, so I cannot use the whole space because then it's unfair for everyone else. So I just took a small space in the backyard just to use it at my landlord's approval. So let me show you what I have. So this is the frost protection that I bought from them. I bought the frost protection and the insect netting. So this is zip up and zip down just to unveil everything. Whoa. So this came off. Yeah. So this is the ring trellis. It, as you can see, fell right off. So I did put my broccolis under the green star cover because it's wide enough, especially if you add the extension for the trellis. If you add it to the top, then it kind of brings like a canopy, so it creates more room so nothing is rubbing against the plants. So let's see how my broccolis are looking, and they don't look too good right now. So let's see what we have. The beauty is, I can put in the comments what this is, but I believe it's like the Waltham, if I'm saying that correctly. I'll put a picture of the seed packet, but this one is somewhat thriving. This one is not so much. It's very slow when they come up, but from a glance, the leaves look like it experienced some damage and some wilting, but these ones are very sturdy. These are pretty sturdy on the back side. This is a side that was more towards the green stalk, and this was more towards the cold. So I'm guessing from all that snow, it bended and kind of froze. But yeah, this side is doing perfectly fine. It's just this one side. But as you can see, the broccoli head is forming. I have never grown a broccoli before. I was always a little intimidated by the little things that you have to do and the timing for broccoli, because I believe it's like either you get the window or you miss the window. And I sort of got the window / missed the window. It's like a timing when it comes to broccoli. And for this one, it definitely got the timing. It's just that the head is a little small. But with this one, it's supposed to give side shoots once you take off the main head. So let's see what happens. But for right now, this is how it looks. So these, they need some fertilizing. And I covered it with some leaf mulch just to protect the roots. So stay tuned for that video as well. And this one looks like it was just suffering a little bit. Yeah, this one's a lot smaller, but some of the branches broke, as you can see. So let's keep it out of this misery. Yeah, they all broke off already, so I'm just helping it remove itself off. The aphids have been attacking my broccoli. Yeah, the aphids are still here even though it's so cold. Can someone tell me why aphids are still around? But yeah, there's no head forming right now, but we'll leave it. It's still small. I'm not sure if it's stunted or it'll just warm up eventually. But I have some sweet alyssums. These ones took a little beating, but the top layer is still fine. But these, once they dry out, I'll just take them for seeds. And as for my green stalk, my strawberries, I didn't get a chance to mulch them, but I'm going to be posting a video showing what I did. And here since the spring, well, early spring, is doing okay. They got a little beating though, so I don't think any more will be coming from here. But I can still harvest these. My strawberries, on the other hand, did not get a chance to be mulched. So I'm doing an experiment to see if they'll be fine just being under the frost protection versus my other strawberries that were mulched to some degree. But my arugulars are amazing. They're doing great, unbothered. I have arugula here as well, unbothered by everything. These were the more earlier transplants, so they're a bit younger. Lettuce, on the other hand, some damage on the outer leaves. The inner is doing okay. So let me turn this. I have time from the spring, so I'm hoping these grow back. And yeah, the top layer is strawberries. There's not much else. I did have a mustard green growing here. I'm surprised at how big this got because I haven't looked at this in a while. My kale, they failed, but I'm leaving them to see if they'll grow. So I'm just turning this because with the green stalk, you do need to turn them just so all the sides can get sun. And these are doing great, honestly, right now. So just trying to protect the roots to see if they'll grow in the spring at least, or when it's warmer to their liking, because I did plant them a little late. So in a way, it's kind of like winter sowing at this point. Our kales. So scarlet kale, I believe this is the red Russian. Scarlet kale is more on the purple side. So they get more darker purple with the cold. So let's see what happens. Do have another kale here, just trying to protect it and not suffocate it. There's a kale there. So even though I have my broccolis here, they're still getting sun. And then my Swiss chard, mulching it was a good thing. It's just that the baby ones are coming in. The older leaves, they definitely died, but there's still hope. And here I have another Swiss chard that is slowly coming up. Again, the inner parts is what I'm more concerned about, not the older leaves. As long as there's still life on the inside, then that means I can still get harvest from them. Just gotta wait a little bit longer. So that's all. So moving on. So I might just leave everything out like this for a little bit and come back in a few hours once the sun passes. This corner. So here I have a little rain collection. I used an old trash can to collect rainwater, and then I bought a solar panel drip irrigation. So instead of hooking it up to the hose, I hooked it up to this bin. So I drop it in here, fill this up, and then this pretty much watered my two raised beds. So this bed and that bed, but since it's so cold, I turned it off for now and just want to make sure I don't kill it. But is this the mesh to collect any debris that can fall from the trees or from the fence? And that's just showing proof that it's working. And this is just from a window, so as you can tell, I'm just repurposing someone else's garbage. And that's my little setup for collecting rainwater on a budget. It's pretty much using what I have. Highly recommend. And let me know, I can drop the link in the description of where I bought it on Amazon. So just hook it up. It's great. Usually I turn it a little bit more, but because it's not on, it doesn't matter right now. But you can turn it so I get a lot of sun this direction, so I can use that to my advantage. And this is it. And this is my trellis that I put to the side and out of the way. So moving on to my smaller containers. So the only thing I have over here that is growing is my carrots. So let's see, everything else has just pretty much been winterized. Here, just the red carrots, not radish, carrots. These carrots like the cold. They like the cold. So these are the most mature carrots I have. I forgot which one I planted in here. So got a little bit covered from the snow, which is why it looks so flattened, because they were flattened from the snow. With these, it should bounce back, so I'm not too worried about them. Leave them, get some harvest probably February, March, when the soil will warm up a bit more, and that way I can have a little harvest from them. So once it gets some frost, the carrots will be sweeter, so it needs to go through some period of frosting and it will be so much sweeter. So I can't wait to try them. So stay tuned and stick around for the harvesting for those carrots. Let me show you a closer look of how everything looks. This is after I mulched everything. So the roots are very well protected, and it's very moist as well. So you can see it's very brown. I'm not sure if you can see it very clearly, but the soil is very brown, very moist. It's not dry at all. It's very moist. So let's see what's arrived. So these are my romaine lettuce. I can, if you check out the November tour, you can see the before and after. I'll also show a picture, most recent picture I have of how this looked before and after, and it doesn't look too bad. Honestly, it looks pretty decent. So my scallion I bought from my store-bought scallion. It's doing great. It's cold. But my kales, they're still very much here that I had planted at late sowing. So they're still here. There was 4 that I planted in square space. And then the outer ones, they're a little frail. They withered a bit. And compared to what you can buy from the store, this is probably still more healthier than the store-bought version. For now, I'm just gonna harvest these. It did get knocked over a little bit, but the roots are still protected. It's still there. I'm very happy. My Swiss chards are doing well. Again, the inner leaves, they're very healthy. This one is a little bit behind, but it's okay. And these little things are my arugula. I sprinkled a bunch of arugula seeds in here because I wanted to maximize on space. So I sprinkled them in between the spacing once these got a little bit older. And my Tom Thumb lettuce. And but they don't look too bad. They flattened out some, but they're just their way of preserving energy. Okay, so for this raised bed, it's more of like a DIY cover. So everything looks a lot better than I expected, honestly. It looks so much better. So let's take a closer look. Okay, so here are my greens. We have arugula. You're doing great, actually, really great. These are all arugula, just this space right here is arugula. This is the Napa cabbage that is trying to flatten out my arugula. And just like the other greens, my mustard, this one, is being eaten by something. I don't know what. So I had put my scallions in here, and I had some chives, or bunching onions they're called. I put them in between, hopes that as they grow, they can also ward off the pest. But my Napa cabbage, they flatten out a bit. But again, the inner leaves are doing great. So I can harvest these, just so they're not flatten each other out, and let those stay and harvest them. This one did not flatten one bit. It's sturdy. But this one, the corners, they flattened a little bit. So that's a square foot space. I put 4 in the square foot space. My radishes are still doing okay. The true leaves are coming in. So I probably won't expect to harvest anytime soon because of the cold. It's slowing down the growing process. But my lettuces are doing great. We have these. So insulating them with the leaves proved to be a success. And by now my other video should have posted showing how I went about insulating them, and that helped protect the roots from all that cold. So even though it's still cold, there's some warmth underneath, so it's insulating a little bit. My spinaches are growing. They took a while though, but they're growing. They're looking great, unbothered by the cold. And my carrots are still the same stage. It's kind of hard to insulate these because they're so close together. I'd have to crush the leaves more, so I just might do that since I have some down here saving so I can use them. And that's all. My alyssums, they took a beating. They're pretty wilted, but honestly I didn't think they would survive this long, but I am still saving them for more seeds. So this is everything. the saddest of them all is my green stalk. This is a 3-tier green stalk, and the thing with this one is I don't have the frost protection like I do for the first one that I showed you in the earlier of this video. I had a plastic that I was covering it with, and as you can see, it's to the side. It blew off. How, I don't know, but it blew off. And when it snowed, it wasn't covered, so everything was covered in snow. Like every single tier had piles and piles of snow on it. My kale took a beating because, yeah, this was all covered in snow. So I think the inner leaves should be fine. It's just I had to prune them back some. So this is just a wide view of everything. And then the top, this had even more snow on it. This one, I'm even shocked it survived to some degree. Maybe not. I had some old seeds from these and they took forever to germinate, and the fact that I haven't even been able to eat much from it is a little bit saddening, but I should have secured them a little bit better. This is everything. Again, thank you so much for watching. And then as you can see, the sun has moved quite a lot.